Hi, good morning, good afternoon. Welcome to the Slice Factory team. This orientation course would be very helpful for you. We have all our rules, our guidelines. If you do have any questions, concerns, you could go ahead and contact either your team leader or people and experiences. First off, we're going to introduce the president of Slice Factory, Dominic DiDiana. He has a very special message for you, and he is very happy that you have joined the Slice Factory team. If you could just take a second to read it. Of course, the founder of it all was Dominic's dad, Vince DiDiana. He migrated here from Italy in 1972 to chase the American dream. He did everything possible for his family. He worked in every career you could possibly think of, and it was all in hopes of a better life. Vince's passion came from his soon-to-be mother-in-law, Carmela DiDiana. His passion, of course, all followed from her as well. He became her right-hand man and soon was able to do what she did as well, which was open their own restaurant. In 1991, Vince and his family all went back to Italy in order to perfect his culinary arts. They knew that his passion was the pizza business, but he still needed some work. In 1996, Vince and his family all came back to America with the knowledge that he had acquired to make his dream come true. In 1998, he opened his first pizza restaurant. That's where it started all. They started off Mr. Vince himself in the back cooking, his wife in the front, and his kids would come and help in the front. In the beginning, there were only 3, but now we are over 80 employees. This was the beginning and the life-changing of it all. In 2004, he opened his second pizza restaurant in Melrose Park. In 2010, we opened 2 more restaurants, one on the north side, Elmwood Park, and one in the south side in Oak Lawn. So far, with these locations, we had 4 current Slice Factories. After working with his father for over 10 years, Vince DiDiana finally left his own restaurant in the hands of his son, Dominic DiDiana. Here is where Dom made so many changes, but in a good way, to only better the restaurant and his company. In 2014, we did our grand opening in Oak Park. This location is very special, although it does not have any dine-in area. It is only for pickup and delivery. In 2015, we finally opened our very first restaurant in the Chicago area, being Little Village. In April of 2016, we relocated our Elmwood Park location onto North Avenue in Harlem. It's still in the Elmwood Park community. It was just relocated for better foot traffic. In 2016, Dominic opened his very first catering division, part of the Slice Factory family, Big Mama's Home Kitchen. We've delivered throughout the whole Chicagoland area, with our menu being Italian, American, and Mexican. 2017 was a really big year for us. We were able to open 2 locations. Our first location was outside the Chicagoland area in Champaign-Urbana, right next to U of I. 2017, we did also open another location in Chicago located on 18th Street in Pilsen. 2018, we will be growing as well as a company, and we plan to open 1 new location in Archer Heights. And that would conclude the history of this company. This is for you to better understand how we grew as a company itself, how we evolved as well. Now we're going to be talking about our mission statement. Every company has its goals, its mission, and for us, it's to be inspired to make a difference. Dominic chose this phrase because, as well as him as his father, they've achieved their dreams and goals. I want you to take a second and think to yourself, what inspires you to make a difference? What separates you from the crowd? What makes you unique? And what helps you and keeps you moving to achieve your goals? Something that also does inspire us to make a difference is our vision statement, where we want to be, who we want to be as a company. And to us, it's to be every neighborhood's favorite pizzeria. You have to take a second to think about this. What and how will we be every neighborhood's pizzeria? Well, the first thing is quality, and of course, the very most important of all is customer service. You have to take a second to think about this. We will review this on your first day. We will ask you, how do you think we as a company, us as a team, can achieve this goal? Something that is also very important to us, other than the mission statement and the vision statement, is our core values. These are very important, not to remember them, but basically to live every day with these morals. The very first one is memorable experience. When a customer walks in, it's more important than to treat them as a customer, but also treat them as your own, someone who's part of your family. Make them feel welcome, make them want to come back. The second one would be quality. This is not to make everything worse nor better. Everything has to be the same, consistent, as our next core value is consistency. Everything has to be the same, which is why we have checklists, you have portion control, we have all these things to control the consistency of this company. Another one would be commitment. You're already part of the team. Now we want you to stay committed. Give us your all. Show us that you care, and we will do the same. The next one is no gossip. No gossip. We know a lot of things might happen at work, but there's a time and place for everything. If you do have a problem, there's always someone that you could follow up with. Go to your team leaders. Do not go around spreading things. And the last one, of course, is unity. We work together as a team, and we want to stay as a team. We're more like family. And now we're here talking about the Wheel of Slice Factory. Every single one of these is very important to us, as though without one of them, we would all be a mess. We're going to sit down and explain them one by one. So the first one, of course, would be owners. As we talked previously within the beginning of the slideshow, we talked about Dom and Vince and how it all came together with their dreams. Of course, the second one is employees. Without you guys, we would be nowhere. Of course, we need the employees to grow, and you guys are the main ones. Development. As a company, we're always growing, which means there are always higher positions that we are looking to fill. That being said, we never outsource or hire outside the company. We always hire within ourselves. Anyone who's willing to grow with us, of course, has the opportunity to do so. Never be afraid to speak yourself or speak your mind, and let us know if you're willing to do so. Systems and procedures. Of course, nowadays, technology is always changing, which is why we need to change with it. Our systems are always being updated and fitted to be accustomed to make things easier for us. The procedures, we have a checklist, which you guys could always go off from. Of course, everything is always there for you. If you do have any questions or concerns, you could always never be afraid to ask. Profitability. Without this, of course, we wouldn't be anywhere. Profits are needed for a company to grow, and of course, without any of that, none of us would be here. Cleanliness. No one wants to eat anywhere that's dirty, which is why cleanliness is also very important for all of us to do. Customer service and the wow experience. When a customer does leave the company, we always want them to be impacted and have the best customer service possible. Which is why the Wheel of Slice Factory is very important to us, and of course, we want it to be important to you as well. The Slice Factory image. We have a policy that is the clean as you go, which means everywhere you go, if you see something, if you see a tray, of course, pick it up. It's everyone's responsibility to maintain a clean restaurant, which is why we have checklists. If you find yourself in the middle of a shift and there's nothing to do, always go back to the checklist. Therefore, there's always something that needs to be cleaned. If you have time to lean, you have time to clean. This next slideshow is very important, therefore it's the schedules of every restaurant. You could go ahead and take a look to see what location you'll be working on, and you could see the open to close times. Keep in mind, just because it might say 11 p.m. on there doesn't necessarily mean you'll be out exactly at 11. You must finish your checklist, which means you have to make sure the restaurant is clean, your register is counted, and everything has been completed for the day. You could go ahead and take a second and just see your weekly schedule on here, well, the weekly times for each location. Another thing that's very important, of course, is our menu. We have a variety of different things starting from entrees, pizza, wings, salads, burgers. Although menu is limited in certain locations, it's very important for you to start looking through this menu just to memorize the menu items in case customers do ask you questions. Instead of looking back, you kind of already have it in mind. Now let's talk about our benefits. The work week starts on Saturday and it ends on Friday. Payday, of course, is the next Friday after that. When working, you do receive a free slice per day. If you're on the clock and would like anything else from our menu item, you do receive a 50% discount. If you are off the clock and decide to stop by, you also receive a 15% discount on all menu items. We do also love to feed your family and friends, which is why they also receive a 15% discount as well. Now let's talk about the evaluation period. This is very important because it will help you improve yourself and of course improve your skills with the company. During the first 90 days, you will be in what's called the evaluation period. Your team leader will constantly be evaluating you and your performance monthly. Every 30 days, you will be receiving, within this time span, you will be receiving an evaluation. If your evaluation is improving, you are on the right track to getting a raise. Although this raise will be done after the 90 days, you will be receiving an evaluation every 3 months. After every 3 months, depending on your evaluation, you could be eligible for a raise. Communication. This is very important for you to be able to communicate with all of us. Of course, since there's so many locations, there's no possible way for us to be in every single location all at once, which is why we have different types of communication. The first one would be the Slice Factory team. If you go on Facebook and at the top you search Slice Factory team, you will find us. You could go ahead and request in order for you to be accepted. You will be accepted right away by people and experiences. In this team, we post birthdays, special information in regards to certain days that you are not able to call off or request off. And it's just a way for all of us to communicate as a team as a whole. We do also have the blackboard, each location in the back towards the kitchen. If you could just locate whichever, depending on which location you work. We do also post on there special things that's going on around the community as well. We do have the birthdays up there. Any type of information that you need to be aware of will be posted on there. And phones. On your first day of work, you are responsible to look for your team leader's phone number, to know the store's phone number. Just if there's ever an emergency, you need to contact anyone, you will be able to reach them. Now we're going to talk about uniforms. Of course, every position does have a certain uniform that they must wear. From front of the house, drivers, and cooks, you are all responsible to come into work. Before you punch in, you must be full in uniform and ready to work. We're going to talk about the front of the house. You are issued 2 Slice Factory shirts when you first start with us. The first is a black shirt, and then the second thing would be a black hat. This hat, you must have it on at all times. Does not matter if you work 6 hours or 10 hours, your hat must be on at all times. And of course, this is just for basic hygiene in case hairs does fall in the food. Like, we need to prevent that at all costs. If it's cold outside, you are able to wear a jacket either underneath your Slice Factory shirt, or if you do have a Slice Factory jacket, you could also wear that, but it must be black. 100% black. It cannot be any other color. It must just all go with the uniform itself. Front of the house, you are able to wear any type of jean that you want, any color, it does not matter. The only thing that we do ask, if it could not at all be ripped in any form, any color that you would like. Another thing that we do not accept for girls, no leggings, guys, no jeans, sport pants, anything active of any form. It's very important for everyone to wear a belt. You must be with a belt and your shirt tucked in within your jeans. Be looking nice and presentable for front of the house, and drivers are responsible for a belt. Of course, summertime does come and it does get very hot. We do allow you to wear shorts. Of course, we only ask if they could please be 2 colors. Guys, we do not accept any basketball shorts of any kind. And then for, of course, girls, all we ask if they could be up to your knees. Please no booty shorts, mini shorts, whatever the case is, just in respect for yourself. For shoes, we do ask that you please wear non-slip shoes, and of course, we need them to be black as well. We do not allow any flats, sandals, or any other form of color for these shoes. Change life. For the guys, personal hygiene is very important. Please remember that we do not allow any earrings or rings either in face or anywhere else that's visible. Please remember that you must keep your nails clean and short, since we are working with food, just to make everything more sanitized and better to work with. We do not allow any of this. Also, basic hygiene, guys. You are allowed to have a beard, but it must be trimmed down, and of course you must have your hair nice and short. It must be combed back. Girls, personal hygiene is important for us as well. Earrings are allowed. They may not be long. They cannot be any hoop earrings of any kind. You must wear studs. For nails, I know we all love going to a nail shop, getting our nails done, but they are also not allowed. We do prefer natural nails and natural colors. Nothing too colorful out there. Just keep it natural. Your hair must be pulled back and in a ponytail. If you do have long hair, we recommend that you please put it up in a bun, because since it's really long, even if you do turn back, anything could fall off. For makeup, we do recommend it as well. All natural. This is not a party. We're here to work. Just keep it natural. Cooks, you will also receive a uniform for yourselves. You'll get a red apron, a red hat with it, and then a red shirt. You also receive 2 pants. There are the chef pants, which are specifically used for cooks. The only thing that you will need to provide yourself would be the black non-slip shoes. We do need non-slip. As well as the front of the house, you do need to keep your hands and nails clean at all times. Cut nails as well. No earrings are allowed or rings in the face. You need to look representable as well at the front of the house. Your hands are the main tool you'll be using to cook, so of course this needs to be clean at all times. That being said, you need to represent yourself how you want to be seen. So do you want to be the nice, clean person, or do you want to be Chango-leon? Now we're going to talk about policies. Attendance and schedules is very important. Schedules are posted every Saturday afternoon in the Blackboard. If you do not work Saturday, you are entitled to either call or come into the store itself just to look at your schedule for the following week. If your schedule is consistent, please be aware that any time there could be changes made. So you are always responsible to look at your schedule. Availability for work. Employees must be available for work during normal business hours. If for any reason there is a change in your work availability, you must notify either your team leader or whoever is in charge of making your schedules. For example, if you're a college student, as soon as you receive your schedule, you are responsible to notify either your team leader or who's in charge of the schedule making, just so that they could change your availability. We are always open to changes. The only thing that we do ask, if you could please notify us on time. Request off. A schedule request is simply a request. Every attempt will be made to accommodate it, but therefore there will be instances when it cannot be done. 98% of the time, if you do notify us within 2 weeks, we will be more than happy to do so if we do have the required team members to cover your shift. Although 2% of the time we cannot accommodate it, therefore it cannot be honored. Just remember that the only day that we do close would be Christmas Day, December 25th. Mandatory days to work. These days are days that no one can request off. Everyone is entitled to work. Therefore, those days are Super Bowl, which is the first Sunday of February. This is the busiest time of the year, and no one is able to request off. Valentine's Day, Halloween, and believe it or not, one day before Thanksgiving. Some holidays depend of the year. For example, 2 years ago, 4th of July fell on a Saturday. Therefore, everyone was at work. No one was able to request off. 2017, 4th of July was on a Tuesday. All the restaurants were closed for the morning, but they did reopen in the evening. So like I said, it does all depend on the day that the holiday falls on. Change life. Tardiness. Remember, it's very important for you to arrive on time, although things do happen and sometimes which cause you to be late, which is why you need to let your team member know that you will be a little late. Therefore, you could call the store. You are not, at any circumstances, can you personally call your team leader on the cell phone. If you're going to be late, you must call the store directly. Just call the store as soon as possible if you know you're going to be tardy. Change slide. You need to save on your phone the weekly schedule in order for you to know your schedule for the week. If you know you're going to be absent and you cannot come into work, you must find someone to replace and cover your shift for the day. You need to call your director of operations and your team leader in order for them to approve this change shift. If someone else is available to cover your shift, the team leader must be aware that they will be coming in. Sick leave. At first, you must call your team leader to inform them of your condition. If you call in sick, you must bring in a doctor's note excusing your absence. If you don't bring this note, your absence will not be excused and you will be written up. Remember, after 3 write-ups, you may be fired. The note is just needed for us to know you're taking the required medication for you to be well. We do work with food, which means we cannot have any germs floating around, and of course, if you're sick, you must be out of work. We do also need to know how much absence leave the doctor does give you in case there is something seriously wrong. We must be aware and need to make changes to the schedule. If you want to change your day shift to night shift, you are very welcome to do so. You must find a team member who is willing to switch with you, and you must get the approval from your director of operations. If your director of operations does not give the okay, you are not allowed to make any changes at all. Clock in and clock out policy. You must remember to always clock in and clock out because this is the way that you are paid. If you one day forget to clock in or maybe clock out, your pay may be off. You are not allowed to clock in if you are not in complete uniform. That being said, you must be in your Slice Factory shirt, wearing your Slice Factory hat with your shirt tucked in and ready to work. Your team leader may not allow you to clock in if you are not in complete uniform. If one day you do forget to clock in or clock out, you must notify the team leader so they could adjust your schedule. If you get paid and you see that your payment is off, whether you're missing a day from when you forgot to clock in, you need to notify people in experience so that they could make the changes of either making a payout for you or just adjusting and adding that pay to the following week. Remember that it's your responsibility to keep track of your sign in and sign out. Break policies. If you work a shift that is more than 6 hours, you are entitled to a 30-minute break. You must clock out, take your break, and must not interrupt with the workflow. You must punch in and out when you are taking your break times. Employees that do not work a 6-hour shift, you are not entitled to 30-minute breaks. But once you do get out of work and you clock out, you are very welcome to sit down and eat your free slice. Employees need team leaders' approval in order for you to take a break. Cell phone policy. Team leaders are allowed to take your cell phone if you are clocked in and using your cellular device. Remember that cell phones are a distraction to our customer service, and we cannot let that interfere with our service. Your team leader is allowed to take your cell phone away and return it at the end of your shift, which is why we just would encourage you to put it away. Job abandonment. When a Slice Factory employee is absent for more than 2 consecutive days, that is considered voluntary leave. The effective day of termination will be the last day that the employee reported to work. These are some violations that you may receive a corrective action for. If you could go ahead and take a second and just go ahead and read through them. Termination. Termination may result from any of the following events: corrective action measures, layoffs, or involuntary dismissal. Termination process. If you no longer wish to work with us, we do require at least 2 weeks in advance in order for us to find your replacement. In order for you to receive your last check, you need to contact people in experience and make an appointment, and that way you will sign your leaving letter. If you do not contact her at all, there will be no way of you getting your last check, which is why this is very important. Payouts for drivers. It's very important for you to know that you do receive a payout when you have to travel from one Slice Factory store to the other. If you're working at Melrose Park and you have to travel to Elmwood Park for any materials that we may need for the other stores, you will receive a payout and a delivery fee for that. If a cashier or maybe the back of the house does make a mistake in the order, therefore you will also receive another payout for that delivery. General store rules. It's very important for you to take the time and understand these rules. If you do have any questions, you could contact people in experiences or your team leader on the first day of work. And this concludes the orientation course. We do hope you learned our values, our history, and our rules. If you did not, by any chance, understand anything in this course, you could contact people in experience or your team leader, and they will be more than happy to assist you with that. We once again welcome you to the team and hope you're ready to start. Now we will begin a short customer service course. You must think about throughout this course what customer service means to you and how you could impact others with your own customer service. 80% of the companies in the United States all revolve around customer service. How many pizza places are in your neighborhood? How many pizza places are in Chicago? If we actually sat down and did the math, we have a lot of competition out there. But this is why together as a team we must work harder to be the best and the greatest at customer service. Do you think all positions are involved with customer service? The answer is yes. We must all take our job serious in order for us to provide the best customer service we can possibly have. In order to provide the best customer service, there are two types of customer service. There's the material and the personal. Of course, the material means having a clean restaurant. That being said, the dishes must be clean, the floor, walls, any tables, they must be neatly organized and so forth, because no one wants to eat where it's all dirty. And of course, the personal, which means you and yourself. You must be kind. You need to be effective. You need to greet customers with a warm smile. You need to be observant and act quickly. Change. Customer reactions, of course, the way that we promote ourselves and what we bring to the table is how customers react. If we have excellent customer service, good quality, good prices, a clean restaurant, of course, the customer will be 100% happy and all smiles. If we have excellent customer service, decent prices, and good quality, but the restaurant isn't clean, the customer may still be happy, but it won't be as happy. If we provide excellent customer service, good quality, maybe the price is a little bit high, and of course the restaurant isn't clean, the customer will be neutral. He'll be happy, not sad, he'll be satisfied. Change slide. If we provide excellent customer service and we have a clean restaurant, but let's say you burn the customer slices and he paid what, $8, $9 for the slice, of course that person will not be happy whatsoever. Which is why we must always fix the problem. If you notice that the pizza is a little bit overburnt, go ahead and remake the slice. It's better for us to remake the pizza than for us to lose this customer forever. You know that if you go somewhere and they give you something burnt, there's a possibility that you may not return. If we have good quality, the price is adjustable, but you're sitting there with an angry face, not being attentive whatsoever, of course the customer is not going to feel wanted. Who would want to come back to that? The key for all this is for us to provide excellent customer service, for us to care about our customers. If we have excellent customer service, and of course the quality is always perfect, they will always return, and we will always be their number one go-to. Sphere of service. You may ask yourself what this means. Basically, it just means that you must be attentive at all times. If you're at a hosting station and you see someone walk in, you must always greet them. Even if you're busy on the phone, taking someone's order and you see someone walk in, greet that customer with a smile. By smiling, you're acknowledging their presence. When you talk with the person, you have to pay attention to them 100%. Give them all your focus. If you provide good quality and excellent sphere of service, the customer will always come back. How can you improve your sphere of service? Smiling. By greeting someone with a simple smile, it just opens many doors. It makes them feel welcome. It makes them feel like they're at home. If you provide eye contact, this is always a number one go-to. Eye contact. It gives the customer reassurance that they have all your attention. If you do not give eye contact, they may feel uncomfortable. They may think you're hiding something. They may feel like you do not even care about them. Which is why these two things are the key points to improving the sphere of service. Of course it does. The service we provide is how the customer reacts. If we treat a customer poorly and do not pay attention to them, that will cause them to be angry. If we don't explain things thoroughly, the customer may be confused. If we do not even care or acknowledge that the customer is there, of course they may feel sad. But if we provide an excellent customer service, everything is done right, of course they're going to be happy. Imagine yourself walking into a restaurant and they greet you very rudely. I don't know about you, but when I get mad, I just lose my appetite. Imagining a customer walking into our facility, and because we've had a bad day, we either greet them or don't acknowledge them. Of course they're going to get mad. Or maybe we do acknowledge them, but the way that we respond is just not something they want to hear. Losing a customer that way would be the worst way we could possibly lose someone, because that way they will never come back, and that's something we need to avoid. Do you know which is the worst marketing? An angry customer going from friend to friend, just talking bad about us. If a customer has a bad experience in our facilities, of course they're going to go tell 7 to 8 friends. But if they have a good experience, we're lucky if they even tell one of their friends, which is why it's very important for us to have every customer leave our stores as happy as possible, with the best customer experience they could possibly receive. Your attitude and how you present yourself to others is the number one impact into how to provide better service. If you come into work positive and ready to jump in, you'll have a great day. You have to tell yourself, I can do it. I'm important for them. I'm going to improve my skills. Do not, however, think negatively. Don't say, always is the same time. I'm tired. I don't like people. They bother me all the time. I want to go home. I hate my job. Don't ever have that mentality in you. Always be positive. Remember, customers are always watching. And the way you act affects whether customers come back or not. And you also impact the environment around you. Body language is very important. The way you non-verbally communicate yourself expresses the way you feel towards a customer as well. If a customer comes in and you're just leaning, not even paying attention, they notice that they do not even matter to you. It's better for you to always be attentive. I know we're not robots, but just try at least for 10 seconds while you're taking their order. Try to stand up straight. Be focused. Pay attention. Another thing that we should not do is run. No running is permitted in the restaurant. If we run, we seem unorganized. We seem like we have no idea what's going on. Always try to stay calm. Even in the most frustrating situations, always try to be calm. Also remember to not cross your hands. If you're standing there with your hands crossed, it may not seem important to you, but it shows that you're there not caring, like you don't want to talk to anyone, which is why we try to avoid this at all costs. Also, avoid putting your hands in your pockets. It's just unsanitary for you to even be having the hands in your pockets since you are working with food and it seems lazy, seems like you're not there to work. So, just try to seem presentable. Like I said, I know we're not robots and it may be hard to do, but there's always something for you to do. Don't just stand there. Like I said, look back at your checklist. Look back at what needs to get done. There's always something to do. Again, thank you guys for listening. Welcome to the family once again. We're very happy to have you. Slice Life is your life, and you are now part of our Slice family, and we are very happy to have you. If you have any questions or concern, please do not ever hesitate to contact